Yes, brother, we are back. We are back. I'm not sure for how long we are back because we go long so often, but yes, we are back. ठीक है, अगला एपिसोड कौन है फटाफट बता कौन है.
Okay, so the next episode is we heard a lot of demands that we do not bring girls, and we complained to warden regarding that. The warden slapped us, but we finally managed to bring a girl.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and she's so deserving. We have Samvedya with us. She was intern in ISRO. She worked with ISRO. She's now going to complete her PhD. She talked to us about science. She talked to us about curiosity and her experiences with ISRO, what project she's working on, and how we as students could work on such projects. She also uh, was fun while talking to us and said about her experiences in the college as well as her upbringing. Harshit, are you excited to watch this podcast?
Jayishnu, I'm really excited. In fact, Samvedya was some of the nicest and sweetest person that we ever interviewed. I'll just say that because she brought a little notebook of ideas she wanted to say to the podcast recording room. So that was some of the sweetest things I've ever seen, and I'm really excited for this episode.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the podcast goes live in one, two, three, action.
You should not underestimate yourself, but I genuinely feel like there is lot of talent, lot of exposure, and when you have like when those people have, even I include myself in that group. Maybe if we have like a small exposure or a small a path in our way, then we can go. We can understand bigger things and big picture.
How is like working in ISRO?
ISRO.
The purpose why we started this was like to meet people who are doing something different
Okay.
and like people who are like not accustomed to the regular path of like doing things.
It's so kind of me to think I'm not that, and it's really honored to call me.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I remember you came to our circuit theory class and then you started about you have studied about Fourier transform. But do you know like where Fourier transform is used or like where what is the actual meaning? And then you said ki you guys are not able to see the vision of like studies. Ma'am, what do you mean by that?
Um, like how to start, like when I started into PhD, then I came to realize, not in PhD, actually I started my internship in ISRO. So before that, till my university I was okay, I was studying, but it is like I was mostly into theory. So I used to understand everything by imagination. So for me it is like I don't understand anything at all until I understand like complete things. So I used to read a lot. My like lot of people used to say like you people are like they say bookworms. Read. Then the thing is like I am trying to understand something, but when I went outside and when I had the opportunity to do that internship, then I understand what is missing and what is fault with my approach of education system, or what is fault with the kind of education system I had around me. So otherwise maybe it is norm in most of the colleges in India, I think so. Then I realized that like okay, we understand something only if we do something. So people who say like who claim I'm an engineer by reading books or getting a degree, I don't think they're real engineers. I feel like real engineers are someone who build things, so who know how to develop a product or who can really show something. So from there it started, and first I want to thank my guru. Guru is not someone like our teacher, or it's not a spiritual guru. In any field, like we can have our gurus, right? So in my life there is one person. So he inspired me to look education system or whatever I'm thinking in a very completely different angle. So once we start doing that, then we can read further. Then like we don't have to form any opinions. We just start reading. Then after some time we'll connect the dots. So when I came to class, one thing I believe is like especially in VIT, all students, especially undergraduate students, you people are very smart. I genuinely believe that, like your generation and all, you can do lot of things. You have lot of freedom and exposure. Seriously,
We
like,
don't think so, ma'am.
no. You don't. You should not underestimate yourself. But I genuinely feel like there is lot of talent, lot of exposure, and when you have like when those people have, even I include myself in that group. Maybe if we have like a small exposure or a small a path in our way, then we can go. We can understand bigger things and big picture. So I just try to understand like what is your generation thinking, and how you are approaching your studies. So that's why I asked those questions, just to ignite that spark. So I wanted to know how everyone is thinking.
But like, how did you start? Like, and why research? Ma'am, to be very honest, for me, research is something that is very boring. Like, and I would never like sit with like finding something. I don't know, like why research, ma'am?
So, okay, what is research and why research? It is a, okay, research is all about innovation. So, why we need innovation? It is to serve national interest or like a personal interest or a civilian purpose. So, what are national interests depending on the country to country? But mainly, innovation goes to that area. So, can you tell me an example? What is the very good innovation that happened in this decade? Like in past 100 years, what do you think is the most innovative thing that happened to humankind?
In like
Internet.
Yeah, exactly. Like anything. Internet is one example. In any field, not only in technology, internet is a very good example. Because if we don't imagine, because of internet, lot of things are changed. Like our lifestyle has been completely changed. Because previously, when we want to have food, we have to cook and we have to do a lot of things and all. But when we have internet, we'll just swiggy it in or we'll call for Zomato. So first, where it started, internet. It all started from, whatever innovative product it is to, it goes into defense. Like obviously it goes into defense. The purpose of innovation is to serve national interest. So what is the national interest is a different part. It varies from country to country to protect their people. Obviously it is like main idea. But in terms of research, research is to innovate something. So when we are doing research, generally the general idea is we have to develop something. But nowadays it is very hard to develop something which is very new. New thing is like one thing that is innovation. We can call internet is an innovation. Now in this era, blockchain, that is one more technology which we can call as innovation. Or smartphone is an innovation. But research is something which is not completely novel. Research, so we will research the area and we will try to improve it. So in our research, what we will do, we'll take a topic, we'll see all the existing parts. Someone has developed, invented some waves, someone developed in electromagnetic waves, like they discovered, we have to say not invent, discovered electromagnetic waves. So the next research is like what they do, they'll find out what they will do and what we can do with those waves. So someone invented radar, and then it goes into what kind of radar systems we can build. Someone want to detect targets, radar is finally mainly to detect targets, and then the research goes into how maybe we can develop into a radar system which can take images of earth, or maybe we can find a radar which can detect on space, like targets on air. And we can, then the research goes into maybe we can develop something in like something in what you call air systems which are not detectable to radar. So once a thing comes, once an innovation comes, the research all revolves around like how can we improve it, or how can we made use it to public, or how we can turn it to a military purpose, like for defense, how we can make use it in defense. That is how the basic idea of research is that.
What research have you done?
Okay, my research interest, I'm from electronics background. My undergrad is from electronics and my post-graduation is from remote sensing. So remote sensing is a field where we obtain the information of an object without touching anything. So basically deal with a sensor. Main example is like we have remote sensing satellites which will give you weather information, rainfall information, or Google Sat is main example. You'll see Google Maps every day. You'll get satellite photographs. It's a remote sensing satellite. Similarly, there is a synthetic aperture radar satellite. Like recently it has been used to detect the Balkot attacks in Pakistan, right? So my topic is in microwave remote sensing. Since I am from remote sensing background as well as electronics, my specialization is in synthetic aperture radar. I work with SAR images.
So that is, ma'am, what is SAR images?
SAR is a synthetic aperture. SAR is synthetic aperture radar. The term, it goes little bit technical, but I'll explain it briefly. So any radar system involves in receiving and transmitting antenna, and for any radar we will have a resolution. So how, for resolution is nothing but if the main idea of radar is to detect object, right, to track the object or any target. So how far our radar can detect something, that is all the concept of how well your radar is developed.
Acha.
Okay, so you have a very good radar means your distance it can detect up to 10 meters or 1 meter, or like in ground penetrating radar, if you have a distance of, I think I'm not expert in GPR, but 10 meters is, or like maybe 20 meters is like a good resolution. You are able to detect person who is 20 meters far from you. So synthetic aperture radar is a space-borne radar. That means the satellite is seeing from space and it is detecting targets on Earth. So there also resolution matters. There is a term called spectral resolution which will give colors, and like that means a decipherable number of colors. If, we see with our eyes lot of colors, right? But when you want to make an instrument to see those colors, there is a lot of mechanics and design going behind it. But the main challenge is how to improve the resolution. That is the challenge who design those satellites. Their challenge is that for remote sensing satellite designers, their challenge is like how can we make our instrument more compact but with having high resolution. That is their area of research.
From like converting a computer to a smartphone. Right?
Yeah, yes, exactly. So when we have computers, they are of this much size. Though the research is like how we can reduce the size. So it goes back into like how can I reduce the size of the transistor. Now my friends are doing in PhD somewhere in VLSI design. So they want to optimize the whole IC design, or they want to reduce size of something. I'm not into that field, but their idea is to like how can you make more compact design so that the smartphone may become even more less.
Arey.
Yeah, right. Because we never imagined it is almost like a computer. We can do anything, whatever we can do with our computer nowadays. It is all because of research and innovation. That is where research and development. That is the main idea behind research. You have something, you have a product. How you can bring a greater value out of it. So once you have passion about this, bringing out the innovation, you don't have anyone to ask you to do research. You'll be like, how can I improve that? How can I improve that? You just keep on going. That is the idea.
Why do we use these satellites? Like, except for military uses.
Okay, so Google Sat is main example. One use of remote sensing satellite is, so you have a Swiggy, right? So you have Swiggy, Zomato, Uber, Ola. All these use Google Maps. So it provides navigation as well as it will show you what, or otherwise you are going to a new place. You don't know anything. So when you have this Google Maps, you can easily navigate through that. So how is it possible? It is because of having higher resolution. So only if you have higher resolution, it can say clearly there is a tree behind that building. Otherwise, your car will go into that tree. You understand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, but very important question you have raised, because whatever the inventions are there, mostly you can say it all those are attributed to West. Okay, that is very true. Because whenever, even though Ola is our own company, Uber is from them, we say like we have innovation, Ola is our own innovation, they'll use the Google API. API is something called yes. So APIs, you know, right? They use Google Maps API. That means their services use Google Maps to go to addresses or locations. For each and every time you use their service, money will be going to that company. So basically, whatever you do, the main innovation and the patent lies with them.
Ma'am, he actually had a very good idea about something. Tell about your idea.
Yes.
Okay, so it was a stupid idea. We were just sitting there, and I thought to myself that, see, we use satellites to detect tsunamis and when we are there. But what if we use satellites to, after an earthquake has happened, to pinpoint where exactly the survivors are?
Like where exactly?
The survivors might be
Inside the debris or something.
under the debris.
Yes, that is there actually. So okay, you know this recent Turkey earthquake happened, right? So from our side also, our government has sent lot of people there. So after that, our Prime Minister conducted a meeting, called everyone and asked like, it's a very good opportunity for us to you go there and you serve for people in times of calamities. We see everyone has humanity. He talked something, and one important question he asked: what did you learn? You give me notes on that. So all those people said is like, those disaster management agencies, they have very advanced technologies, like advanced technology in the sense like it's not something military or something, it's normal. So they have very good radars. That is where GPR comes into picture. So you just put it, it will detect There are technologies which can detect humans behind walls or below debris. It is there actually, the things are going on. So they used these kind of technologies, so they used all these things, and they detected like whether the human is there or not, and we have learned how their disaster management has responded, like that he told. So the thing is, these technologies already exist, so you need to just whenever you want to do something, you want to know about something, the best way I recommend for you is, this is how all undergrad students in abroad or some other places will think. Like, you develop an interest in a subject, you go into that subject, you start reading papers even though you don't understand anything, because that is where the research comes from. Whatever textbooks are written, honestly speaking, whatever your textbooks are written, they're all based on research paper. If you go to end, you will get a bibliography of all the papers and how they are organized into a book.
Like, can you predict floods using these data?
Yeah, yes. So can you predict? Yes. So this hydrological modeling software, what it will take all the real-time parameters, like what is your soil condition, what is the porosity it is having. It is called imperviousness. So everything is mathematical. So if the soil is having this much 0.15 or something, you categorize as like it is having this much impermeability.
Is it built?
Yeah, it is built. It is developed first in Navy Corps in US, United States Navy Corps. I told right now we are using. They developed in 1900s or something. First everything goes to military, then it will come to civilian purposes. So then they build all these things. They will take the digital elevation model, which will give how your earth is exactly. So at this location you will have this much height from above mean sea level. So it will give you the soil type, what is the elevation there, and what is the river height, distance from the river. It will consider all the models. It will simulate, and it will give you the real time prediction. Yes, real time.
So we can
probability.
predict the future like
Yeah,
this.
we can predict with probability. So that is why probability is really important, because when I read, honestly, when I was in my second year of BTech, I told right, the way I learned is completely stupid. I wish one thing I can do is like go back and read again all these things. So now I will bring like intermediate books, all those things to solve again, to read again. So that time I didn't understand. My worst fear is probability. I never understood the concept of probability, why it is used. But now there is no research without probability for me. Random processes, stochastic process. So I feel like, oh my god, these models are so amazing. These equations, I love them and I crave for these equations. But that time when I see some equation, it is like Chinese. What the hell they are saying? What stupid equation this is? Why do we need all that? But as I am starting to solve my problems, then I understood why these innovations are happening. And now I'm searching for tools. Is there any new probabilistic model that I can use to give a better result? Like that, now I'm searching for more complex equations.
But ma'am, some rivers have dams on them. No? So, like, and you can artificially control the flow of the river or the depth.
Yes.
So how does that take into account?
That also takes into account. Like we consider all these factors into while we are modeling. So when it is flooding, it is not only from precipitation. So for example, we are sitting in this room. Now it rained very heavily. What happens when there is a slope? All the water will go into slope. For example, we are sitting in slope, that is the upstream. So everything water will come here. But only not if it rains here. If it rains somewhere which is having a higher elevation than us, that will also come. Otherwise, there is a dam there. It rained heavily in that area. We don't have any rains here. But because of heavy rain, they release the dam. And all that water again comes here. So there are lot of factors contributing. Or like we have very less rain, but the surface is very impervious. Like it is very hard to absorb water. That time it won't go. Generally, when water, it should go into earth. It won't go. So we have floods. So floods have like lot of effects. We consider dam break. We consider snow melt, especially in that part of India. We will consider snow melt, glacier melt, precipitation. We will consider soil conditions. We will consider. I have to redirect into some of my hydrologist friends, because they are from civil department and they can model all these physical parameters really well. So I know, because I studied and I implemented some of the parameters, but not to extreme. I didn't go for simulation of dam break floods, because my area doesn't involve any dams. But the question you asked is really valid.
Ma'am, like, are you doing this project with ISRO? Is this the ISRO funded?
Yes, it is ISRO funded project. So whatever results or software we have developed or methodologies, generally we have to present it before ISRO every year. So we went there and we presented all our results before them. They will ask some critical questions like how your approach is useful, like that. They will review your process. That is how it happened.
But like you are studying in radar technology,
Yes.
and all of this is like also AI/ML.
Yes. Yes.
So
Exactly.
so like your PhD thesis is also including
Yeah,
AI/ML.
most part it includes A and ML, my PhD. So when I gave my presentation, I wanted everyone to understand this because there are a lot of researchers. Everyone is doing research on different topics. So my research is a what you call it's a overlap between hydrology, computational electromagnetics, and remote sensing, GIS, and hydrology. Then it comes. So every research is basically research is almost every time it is interdisciplinary. When you want to go into one topic, it is not like it's an electronic subject or something. Only when you bring something. Nowadays, I see hearing in some colleges and from some people, no, you have to put MI, it will go into a new paper. It is not like that. It is because if you want to solve a real-time complex problem, you need that. You definitely need that.
Ma'am, is this also the same thing that will be deployed with ISRO and NASA or something? You're talking about that in your project.
Okay. So my project is part of a research announcement under L and S band SAR. So there is a project, there is a satellite launch going to happen next year. That is called NISAR. So NISAR is called NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. So for the first time, NASA and ISRO are collaborating and working on a mission. So they are giving from our side S-band sensor. So world's first S-band synthetic aperture. So we have lot of radars, S-band radars we have lot. But imaging S-band radar till now we didn't have. So first time ISRO is providing S-band radar from our side and NASA is providing L-band radar from their side. The very good what you call beauty of this mission is they're going to make the data free. It's like 12-day repeativity. Every 12 days you'll get the data all over the globe. And we have like one mission like that, Sentinel-1. Mostly people use, even I use a lot of that data. They'll give free data, Sentinel data. Like you have to subscribe with your college ID and all. It's a open source data. But here C-band is having little bit lower P. So you know, second year do you have this subject microwave engineering?
No,
So you will be reading next time P, L, S, C, X, K, K, U, K. It is like band order in terms of decreased wavelength. So P have high wavelength, then L, then S, then C. So C has little bit lower wavelength than L and S. So now it is giving open. The advantage is like more high the wavelength it will go. So we have L band means we can detect what is under tree also. So that is the beauty of higher wavelengths. So C band it used to give only from top of canopy. If you have lot of vegetation cover, if some flood happened under that, you cannot detect. But with L you can see that. So this data previously we need to purchase either from European Space Agency or Japanese Space Agency, and each one scene cost around 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs. Yeah, one scene. Yeah, so now they're designing the satellite and giving it civilian, publicly open to everyone in higher wavelength bands also.
So, ma'am, what is your work there?
My work is like the same project. I worked on floods only.
Floods only.
Floods only. So my entire PhD is derived from their project.
From the ISRO NASA.
Yes. Their research announcement.
Ma'am, how is like working in ISRO?
ISRO, okay. One thing I can say is it changed my way of thinking. One person I told it, my guru, I have to give everything to him, whatever till now I'm speaking. He made me to see a bigger picture, and before that, the right opening point for me is going there and working with those people. And like I don't know about VIT, I cannot speak because VIT is having really good infrastructure, really good exposure, and lot of beautiful minds like you. But the college where I studied, it is like I used to crave for something like what is this subject saying or what is that, but we didn't have any exposure. Like we didn't have anyone to guide us like these are real products, you have to build them, this is a research, there is nothing like that. But when I started doing my internship, when I started seeing these people, first I was so overwhelmed. These are overwhelmed, real scientists. And when we had our interview panel of like, I remember 9 people are sitting and saying like, welcome here, so you will be working on these topics. They first asked us like, If you want to know about person, the first good thing is like you don't speak, you just ask lot of questions to them, you'll get to know them. So all people did like, what is your background, what is your BTech project, what you are interested in, why did you choose this group. They'll ask that because when you are working in a company or any other person, you'll do basic research, right? So they did all the questions like why you want to choose this department, what you can give us. So interns or people, someone company can use without paying salary, but most advantageous part is they can learn so many things. So there only we learned lot of things, and for me, I understood one more thing. We don't, people are open to questions, like they're very humble, they know a lot of things, very 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 humble. We used to read. If you want to use a software, no one will teach how to use that, so we'll just read the documentation. But every open source, especially open, not commercial, even commercial softwares have documentation, but you have to pay for it. Open source software, you'll have documentation open, so we just read the documentation, we'll try like that. We don't understand concept, we'll read, we'll go, we'll ask questions. So we took that opportunity, we used to run to every cabin, it doesn't matter whether they're from our department or not. So we used to go and ask like, sir, what is your research area, what do you do here? So based on that interest, they really very humble, they're very humble people, I just have to say that. Took us to the data reception center, they have like very big antennas there, all the remote sensing satellite data, whatever they collect, it's a real time. So whenever the satellite passes there, so the antenna moves like this. Whenever the satellite is going, the antenna will go like this, and it will collect the data in real time, and it will show on a big screen. And they have like a room which is restricted access, but it is like petabytes, not terabytes, petabytes. So all the data will be stored in very big servers.
Can you go there?
No, you should have pass. Like entering there, you should have a pass from people who are working there. Only once you show the authorization, then
You went there, ma'am?
yes. One of my guide, we have different guides inside ISRO also. So they said like these people want to know more. Just 2 days you took take tour in that reception center in Shadnagar. Like that they recommended, and only for 2 days they just took us and explained everything. But now I think like now I am understanding lot of things. That time they explained lot, and my mind is unable to take anything. I listened, but I forgot lot of things. The things whatever I am saying, what I saw. So technical aspect, I didn't remember a lot. Now I think if I go, maybe I can remember all.
And who's the biggest scientist you met and interacted there?
Okay, biggest scientist I met. Okay, since I'm in research area, I have like a list of favorite scientists all over the world and in India. In my field, IIT Bombay, one professor is there. He's very good in that area. And there, when I was working in NRSC, the area which where I did is, we have lot of ISRO centers, right? Since I'm from remote sensing, I went to that part of ISRO center, National Remote Sensing Center.
It's in Hyderabad.
It's in Hyderabad. So there is a division called Remote Sensing Application, RSA division. So the head is PVN Rao. So he is like a very scientist F, not scientist F, scientist G, I think. He is very old scientist, and he's a very good scientist. He has collaborations with state governments and all. They did smart city planning and all these projects will come to that part of ISRO, and he has met with chief ministers and all. So that when he was speaking, we always used to be like very much attentive and conscious whatever thing he's saying. So he's the very big scientist I met. Then I got an opportunity. It's a collective ISRO meeting. So Sivan sir, you know, right? ISRO chairman. Sivan sir and Kunhi Krishnan, he is head of SHAR that time. That in Sriharikota launching station is right, SHAR Sriharikota. He is the director of SHAR. Sivan sir is the head of whole ISRO. And one person I met, I forgot his name, I shouldn't forget. He's one Rao, one sir is there. He is a Padma Bhushan, he is the mission director of PLSV. Padma Bhushan, they all came there, and I got opportunity to sing. It's kind of, there is a small cultural event after their meeting is over. So someone gave me opportunity, you just sing. Then I met all those people. That particular sir came, he's like launch director and Padma Bhushan. I was like, sir, it's very honored to meet you. I was saying like that. Then he's like, you sang really well, like that, he told. So it is not technical interaction, but I still feel it's a moment in my life. I met Sivan sir, I gave him bouquet and welcomed him on stage. And
Do you have their autographs or something?
not autograph, photo I'm having.
Arey.
Yeah.
How is the environment of ISRO? Like, is it different from any other company? Or is it like, how is it?
Which one? Like that?
Yeah, like any environment. I think,
Environment you're asking about? There inside.
yeah, the work environment.
Work environment is okay. People always work there. Like always, like we have given systems there, and that's it. They said like we have given you infrastructure. We have given you just they simply throw it as a research topic. You work on this. That's it. You work on SAR data and you work on this topic. They didn't give us anything as system and that, but they have given access to everything. You can talk to all people. You can install any software like that. They have given. So people are always like working. So if we have any doubt, we used to go, we used to interact. And I think I have seen a limited part only because main ISRO, I think like one of my friends, she also did PhD here. She was working on laser or something, I guess. So she did her internship in ISRO also. So, but she did it in a different center and she was working with hardware part. So her experience is very completely different and her environment is very completely different from mine. We mostly work on systems and simulation models, so computer based. Hers is most like hardware. So their discussions and their ideologies, it will be completely different. But from what I spoke with her, one major commonality I can draw is like those people are very smart. They're like always working and they're open to ideas. They don't think like you are just a student or you should not talk like that. You just go ask anything, they will tell you a lot of things, they will give you ideas, they will encourage you. That is one fascinating thing.
What is the one crazy thing that is happening in ISRO that we general public don't know about? Like,
I don't know that really.
Did you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement when you joined?
No, we didn't sign any, but we have an agreement like whatever we developed from this project, we will submit to that.
Yeah.
One thing we have done, and I know few, like you asked, what is the thing that is going on. One thing in my field, I understood is like we use different softwares, mainly from NASA, because they have very proper documentation for. They have something called DAACS, data accumulation, and I didn't remember the full form. They are centers of data collection, especially in remote sensing side. So everything is so organized. If you want to get something, there is a website for that. There is a process, technical documentation. There is a software. Everything is written. In my field, that's the one lagging part what I observed. But when we want to have here, we didn't have any data. So we didn't have a proper organizational website where we can get data, not proper technical documentation and all. And all the softwares we use mostly from European Space Agency or NASA. They're open source, they're free. But when I worked there inside the ISRO and all, I came to know that they have lot of softwares. But like softwares in the sense, they're all developed as a part of this research projects and all. But they are not out. Mostly, many people don't know. But there are softwares.
there are
like
softwares.
Can anyone download those? Or you have to purchase them?
we need to take rights from few scientists, like who have developed, we have to take rights from them to use them. And one of my friends, she is also working in a ISRO project. Then I came to know from her another software she is using. I was little bit shocked because that software is really good software. We need us, but we didn't get. I asked like, can I use that? But they said we have NDC. We should not give this to any other people. So they have lot of like that.
Ma'am, is there like something you'd like to like continue your work in ISRO after your PhD gets over?
I really want to. I really, but I feel like I don't know. Like I 0.001%. I need to like read a lot, and I want to know more from. Yeah, I really want to work there.
When did you decide that you wanted to do research and you wanted to do research in this particular remote sensing topic?
So after my BTech, I got a placement. Like I got in Tata Consultancy (TCS). So I was a assistant system engineer. That was my post. But that time I don't know whether I should take that or not. I was assigned in Trivandrum, I think somewhere. So I don't know whether I should take or not. So I thought like maybe this is not right time for me to leave home. Even I was like little bit of homesick. So I want to pursue my MTech. MTech, it happened like really different. That time, remote sensing was a new branch. It doesn't comes into engineering. It comes into kind of sciences. So I saw the syllabus paper of that before deciding. Two things are there. Avionics branch is there, remote sensing. When I saw remote sensing, lot of things, subjects are like digital image processing, micro database, relational, spatial database management systems, SDBMS we had. So I found it very interesting. Maybe I'm from electronics and remote sensing it's a very different field. I wanted to know exactly what that is. That is how I joined. But when I experienced it, like after for project we were sent 1 year to ISRO, then I decided like I need to go for PhD because there everyone suggested, junior scientists they suggested like whatever topic you took, it is not completed in 1 year. You definitely need 3 years. It's a PhD topic you are working on. So I was left. Actually, I worked in ocean modeling department. So I was working in kind of some internal waves like which can obstruct submarines and oil rigs. So that one I wanted to really wanted to continue on. I gave in IIT Madras in ocean modeling department, but I didn't get to work on this radar. I wanted like synthetic aperture radar only. So that time, for your question, it is like after my BTech, like MTech, and my MTech first year, after my first year and second year, I decided like I should go to PhD. I need to go to PhD.
On an ending note, how does it feel to be called a scientist?
Called a scientist. Oh God, that is really, when someone calls me that, like, I don't know, I feel so unreal, surreal. But at the same time, I think I'm not I'm not a real scientist because I need to learn a lot. I don't deserve to be called scientist. Maybe because I don't know a lot of things. I have to do more. I need to provide more value. I need to develop more product. Only if I satisfy like that I developed some product which is like useful to the public, then maybe I can call myself as one. But
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was nice talking.
thank you so much.
अरे भाई कैसा लगा एपिसोड, कैसा लगा एपिसोड? फन था कि नहीं?
Also, sorry for the crew. Next time during recording, we are bringing a rifle with us.
अरे आउटडोर रिकॉर्डिंग था. अगर थोड़ा सा क्वालिटी खराब है, वी आर सो सॉरी फॉर दैट. नेक्स्ट टाइम वी आर नेवर गोइंग टू डू एन आउटडोर शूट. Till then, like, share, subscribe. Bye bye. See you soon, ladies and gentlemen. 2 a.m. That's for you guys. Thank you so much.